could end very, very badly for Endpoint. But still, 9th round. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter who wins it. If Endpoint win it and they start team, you know, even then, I think it's still pick your poison.
Yeah, and my only fear now for this game is if Endpoint are just gonna be a little bit silly with it. I mean, I've experienced a situation 2 finals ago. It was a 3rd place playoff. It was on Inferno, and I saw 2 teams not give a damn about what was going on.
Was that
Infused? Yes. It was one of the worst games I have ever witnessed in my life because they didn't care.
Oh god, I don't want to name drop the player, but a player left the team 4 days before and they had to get someone random in.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one. Anyway, you know, if you went down to the LAN, you come down to the LAN, you'll know all about the banter that happens. Anyway, Imi playing towards Matrix to see if he can find some frags before he gets...
he finds 2 absolutely unreal stuff from Imi. Perhaps he's not going to play silly. He finds 3 now, and, well, he'll shut down that push coming out from FM. Endpoint, though, all season long, they've been doing absolutely incredible things on their pistol rounds. It's been the rounds, therefore, after that they've really struggled for, but they're not doing anything silly. They want to take this one seriously. As you said, it's still practice. Yes, they're not going to make finals, but they're also playing for money as well.
Exactly.
Top 4 is still more money than that 5th to 8th spot.
It's interesting that you say that Endpoint win a lot of pistols. When the team first formed, they lost a hell of a lot of pistols. They went 0 for 6 at the start of UK tours in pistols on the first 2 weeks, or 0-8. They didn't win a pistol for 2 weeks. That's one of the problems, right? They fixed it, okay? But a new problem arose is, well, we're winning the pistol round. But what happens when you win the pistol? You're versus an eco, an anti-eco, and they start losing that a lot, and already it's looking a bit of a shambles as Weber finds the trade.
Yeah, these are the rounds that Endpoint have thrown away, and we've seen them throw them away on Cobblestone as well. As the bombardment still comes through from FM, they are not stopping. This trains are rolling, but they're going to walk into Imi. Imi can't find anything. Weber finds one, Pulse finds it as well. So it's just down to Pete and Luzzer. Is it going to happen? Same old for Endpoint, and they're already backing off. Are they going to save? Are they going to work together? It looks like at the moment they can't really decide what they want to do.
Endpoint. They had a problem before. They lost pistols, and now they're winning pistols. And the problem they have now is they lose anti-ecos. When you're playing an anti-eco on your CT side, CT side Cobble, a team that I study when I'm watching Cobble and I'm learning Cobblestone is SK. The way they play the anti-ecos is they play aggressive. Imi got, what, 3 kills on the pistol? He had enough if he wanted to buy an M4 and armor. What you see Fur do if he has an M4 is he'll flash mid doors, peek mid, right? T's are flashed, they've got Tech 9s, easy frags. You have the subsequent player hold a Molotov. If he hears any steps towards mid, he hears them up long, and he sees them towards mid. If he sees or hears anything, chuck a molly long, fall back. That's it. The push is denied. Problem for Endpoint is the holding for the push, and that allows the FM side to be close-knitted together. You saw how fast that trade was from Weber. You saw Imperial play earlier. They weren't playing close-netted. They were playing far apart, and you saw bad trades. FM, they're not making that same mistake.
Just a shame for Ezio. I mean...
He shouldn't be playing there.
It's an odd angle to be playing because if you're going to get pushed by 4 people, it's really hard to get a spray down with the FAMAS, to be honest.
There's so many anti-eco setups down there.
Exactly. So Endpoint, this is clearly what they need to work on. Can they respond with a force-up of their own now? You can see 5 UMPs coming through on the Endpoint side, and Ezio is taking an aggressive stance. It's a slightly different angle this time. He did get the trade, so he kind of did his job, but I guess it was Imi who was punished in the end, being just overwhelmed by FM, and they found their way up middle now, and can Imi get a frag this time? No, not yet. Nilzinho is going to find Ezio. Mighty Max comes in from behind, finds Fry. Mighty Max continues, but Stanley takes him down, and now it's just Pete and Luzzer again. This time, they're not going to save, though. They're going to go for this one.
Spotting towards ramp, Weber has the timing, War, and he wins it. They know exactly where Luzzer is. Easy frag there for Weber. He's not going to let that one slip, is he? Full eco now for Endpoint. The money is dire.
Now, my initial worry was that Endpoint may not take this seriously. Now, with the thought process of the extra money with Premiership
Premier as well, they're playing this up next. They're taking this serious. I reckon they will.
Yes, but I'm worried about in-team arguments now because they've just thrown around, which they definitely shouldn't have. It's happened all season. The frustration is going to start to kick in, and that's just going to play into FM's hands, to be honest. It's going to be a question of whether Endpoint can do anything about it, and at the moment, Imi tried an aggressive position. He's going to be shut down by Frey.
Yeah, I think we'll find out about, you know, if there's team turmoil or if there's any problems like in terms of communication, in terms of team play in the first buy round, but that's a nice shot there. On a round like this, you're expecting to go heavily favoured in terms of FM winning the round anyway. But still, Luzzer and Pete trying to get some extra frags here, trying to take some UMPs, FAMASs out of the hands of Weber and co. Weber of the FAMAS, he just wants to push. He doesn't care if he dies. He's going to buy an AK in the next round if he does. But yeah, Pete last alive. So going to the first buy round. how are FM going to structure their T sides? Are they going to play for heavy plat control? Are they going to play passive towards plat? Play heavy towards drop and A long? It's very different, right? You see certain teams go for B plat control. And you see other teams go for A long control. Gambit, possibly the best cobblestone team in the world right now. They're 11-0 in terms of their record recently. They go for A long alley control as their default, whereas Virtus Pro, they go for the complete opposite. On their T sides, they go for the plat control. So it's just thinking about how you swap it around, how the team wants to structure, and by the looks of it, I think they're just going to play fast. They've still got the SMGs in hand. You can flash these SMGs out and try burst the B bomb site.
Now the big question is, those players, Luzza and Pete, have been on the B side. They've not had anything to do so far this game, and Pete's shut down by Stanley immediately. Pulse comes through, takes down Luzza. So they've waited all game for someone to push B site. Eventually, when it happens, he gets shut down immediately. Mighty Max, though, a great angle here. Can he spot the bomb going down? Yes, he can. Finds Nilzinho. Now he's going to hop through the smoke and try and find Frey as well, who's just currently dancing around Chicken Coop. But he's Molotoved himself off. Mighty Max in a great position. Finds one. Can he get sprayed down? No, he can't. Pulse comes through to find him and Imi as well, leaving Ezio all on his own. Finds one, but it won't find the second. Pulse coming through, putting FM 4-1 up, and that's going to be difficult now for Endpoint.
Instead of rebuying those AKs and dropping those SMGs, they keep the SMGs and they play around them. As I mentioned before, with the SMGs you can burst the site, flash through the Olaf Meister smoke on B-plat, flash through it, jump out towards Speedway and challenge the player that plays Speedway, Tree or Drop, and that player was PT, who got caught off guard and fell to Stanley. And that meant the first buy round going in favour of FM, and they broke the money of Endpoint. This could be a very, very one-sided half, especially when you consider the fact that Endpoint won the pistol again.
Yeah, this is the thing, it was so frustrating for Pete and Luzza as well, constantly having to rotate, and when finally people pushed them, they weren't quite ready for it. As now frags coming through from FM, it should be an easy round for them, but you can see Endpoint have stacked their way onto A long here. I wonder if FM are going to play into that, whether they will suss and sniff that out, and it does look like that's going to be the case because they're going to move on round to B site. There's going to be no one there. They're still going to flash it just in case though. As you can see now, Endpoint are eventually rotating round. Perhaps they heard a little bit of footsteps. Very difficult for them now though to retake this site, but this round was always going to be a formality, to be honest.
Yep, at this point for Endpoint is how many guns you can take out of the T's hands. It's not about getting the round win, and unfortunately for them, only one gun just isn't quite enough. So, 1-5, 4 rounds in the lead for FM, and the buy round comes in. This is the second buy round of the half. This is an important one here, Dan. They need this one. If they lose this, we're looking at potentially 1-7, 1-8, and at that point, FM, they're far too ahead in the lead, and it's Endpoint. Are they really going to have the mental fortitude in this game to, mount the comeback? I'm not too sure. Still, another fast play towards B. Maybe that's where they expect the weakness on the Endpoint side to be.
Yeah, definitely they're going to challenge Pete and Luzza once again, but they are going to back off. All 5 of them there, but the smokes and flashes will halt any fast rush that we were expecting, and now it looks like they're going to change their mind completely, perhaps move towards A instead. They could go for a double fake, but how important is this AWP in the hands of Luzza on this Endpoint side?
He's playing towards B, and the fact that the T's have used a lot of utility as well means that the less utility thrown against Luzza, the higher chance he has of finding frags, right? If he's not flashed, if he's not smoked off, it's very easy to find those kills and get those man advantages for your team. I'm talking about FM. They're playing the alley default, but look at this. Ezio close to the smoke. Do FM expect this?
Yeah, he's going for a sneaky position. Is tagged down to 73.
He tried the molly. They know where he is.
They'll know where he is because of that molly, but he has crossed over and managed to survive with his life. Wouldn't be surprised if he backs off now. Yes, he does. He's going to go for another sneaky angle instead. And at the moment, it just seems like Endpoint are playing very passive. They want to sit back. They want to just hope that FM are going to push into their crosshairs. Luzza continuously trying to find anything with this AWP, but he's going to be smoked off as well. 40 seconds left. Where do FM go from here?
Endpoint have lost control of B-plat. This means this 4th player here, Mighty Max, might start rotating towards B, but actually the fact that they're facing means he won't. Amy with the first. Can he get a second spray? I know he can't. Instantly traded out there, but Max are trying to cover his back. Sprays, but actually whiffs it there. Player on low HP. Stanley falls. Frey 1 towards mid as well as low HP. Has 3 bullets. That's all it takes. Whiffs them. Pull out the USP, mate. He's only 24 HP.
Maybe he doesn't know that though, and
yeah, hindsight's hindsight. Caster sight 2020.
Caster sight is 2020, but it's better from Endpoint. They found those frags. They managed to finally shut down FM with their pushes. They have been thwarted. Frey is going to survive with the AWP though. No one going to be challenging him just yet. Perhaps a chance for Endpoint to get back into this.
Yep.
It was interesting play coming out from SEO. Of course, he throwing that Molotov down, but he did escape with his life in the end. But to be honest, it was that positioning from Imi, just catching FM ever so slightly off guard.
So, FM there, the reason that situation got to where it was because they went for a B play. The problem was the Molotovs and counter flashes stopped them from going Then they went back towards A. The problem was the clock was too far gone. If they had more time, they could have sold the fake B and actually only attacked onto 2 players, and Max wouldn't have been there. The player that got those 3 kills wouldn't have been in that situation towards Connector. We could have been seeing a very, very different round if they had more time on the clock. But still, slow default, taking alley control. So they will be playing that sort of default towards their T-side cobble. And what it's good for is bringing that player towards, bringing a rotation from B back towards A. That's the player Max, who's their B rotator. Bring him back to, yeah, you can see he's already going towards window, starting to rotate over. And that means if FM, with 1 minute on the clock left, decide to go back to B, they're they're against 1 less person.
Max is going to rotate through. Still no push coming out from FM just yet. Stanley just trying to survive at middle. He's reluctant to push out in case anyone is going to be taking that aggressive angle in mid. No one is there just yet, though. You can see Imi taking more of a defensive approach here. Is anyone going to walk right into his crosshair, though? I like that he's changed his position up. He's not going to be predictable. He's going to keep them guessing. And I like this from Endpoint. It's like they've sussed it out. It's like they know that they're going to be pushing A, but can Imi find any frags as they're pushing through middle? Well, he didn't find the first. Mighty Max did, but he comes in with a second. Frey does take down SEO through the smoke. Is he going to push on through? Is he going to back off? They do have control of the bomb now, so we need something different coming out from FM. Neilzinho looking around. Can he find Imi? This could be huge. Finds him whilst flashbang. Will have an M4 in his back pocket as well to work with now. As Mighty Max just watching this smoke as Weber picks one up onto Luzza. So FM have that advantage, but they don't have the bomb. Mighty Max will find Neilzinho. Now it's 2-on-1. Just Weber to... well, I said it was just Weber, but whilst all that was happening, Pete took down 2 of them, and Endpoint looking a lot better now. So, FM, they go for the alley default. The problem is, they throw nothing towards B. They make no noise B. It's very easy for Max to stay connector, stay A, because look at the information they're given. There's no nades towards B. There's no steps towards B. You're going to have 3 players playing towards A, and that makes it a lot easier to hold. You can have Ezio holding off A long with the smoke there, and you can have 2 players, Max and Imi, holding towards mid. Typically, on your CT side, Cobblestone, you're going to double up, right? When you're 2 players on A. You're going to double up towards long or double up towards mid, play together, and then deal with the other half of the portion of A, later on. If you give up mid, you play for mid later, right? Ezio and Imi, they're holding A long together. Let's see if it can pay off. Yeah, see with a fantastic opportunity if he can find 2. Needs to be careful here, though. Can he find the head of Stanley? You can see his arm, and he does eventually find the headshot. Backs off as well in case anyone's getting aggressive. He's found the opening pick. That's what he needed to do. That's better from SEO now. Gets the trade, and now can move on back towards the site. Weber's found himself into drop, and FM need to find a pick here if they're going to be able to work their way onto either site.
Yeah, problem as well as PT's pushed up B plat as well. So they have information in case things do go back towards B. Luzza holding electric there for Weber to try and find an opening onto the B bomb site from drop. PT, they don't expect him to be pushed up this far, but actually whiffs!
Whiffs and allows Neilzinho back in, and perhaps that's the chance for them to get onto a site maybe, but they are going to be walking into Luzza's AWP. He's getting sprayed down through the box, and Frey takes him down. He's going to be back to a 3v3. Imi can't get there either, so Pulse coming in with a huge kill. Mighty Max so much to do, really needs to survive and pick it up, but Pulse continues steamrolling through these Endpoint members. It's just SEO on his own. He's having to rotate from the A site as well. Bomb's going to go down. It's a 1v3. This is impossible. He's having to save.
From a 5 versus 3 to a 3 versus 1 in favour of FM eSports. Endpoint, they let it slip. Luzza has control of B plat. He whiffs the shot, full back. We saw what happened last time when Pulse went there. He whiffed the shot and actually fell back and played passive. For some reason, Luzza got a bit greedy there, didn't fall back, got caught off guard, and as soon as he died, that meant that the players could split through drop. That meant Imi was caught off guard, and later on Max as well. As soon as the player B plat dies, that really does split up the defense. You can't hold B with 1 player. You can't hold drop and B plat alone.
Those frags coming out from Pulse.
So nice.
I believe, I mean, this may have changed, but I'm fairly certain Pulse has the most aces as well currently in the Premiership. He's one of these players that he can just pull it out when you least expect it, and it's such an asset to have for this FM eSports lineup.
Something as well was when Crucial got picked up by an NA organisation, a lot of other NA orgs were actually looking at Pulse. They're interested in because they see potential, right? He's only 22, 23, young player, a lot of experience as well on LAN. They know he's not going to crumble. He is definitely someone you want to spend your money on. Let's put it that way. If you're a betting person, money on Pulse. Still, default coming out here from the FM side. Once again, alley control. I've already established what's good and bad about that. Weber now, being the player that Pulse was before, that lone, well, I don't say survivor, that lone player who's lurking towards the B-bomb site. Taco fills this role as well for SK. He plays towards his barrels, plays outside drop. He can spot a boost towards drop, and he can also hold for the push. And that allows the rest of his team to take control of alley, take control of the map, and go from there.
It's a very weak buy from Endpoint. Even the Swag 7 from Luzza, but he's holding that at B site, and at the moment it looks like FM are favouring A site. Or are they? They're backing off. They're not really too sure yet. They've got options, as you can see the bomb is rotating towards middle now instead. As it looks like Weber's gained a little bit of information. And Stanley's going to come up and join him over here towards A long.
Problem is for the CT side, they don't have control of B plat. This makes it hard for the rotations. You've got 3 players playing towards A. But when these nades come in, do they think it's a fake? Do they want to double down on A? And Luzza without an AWP instead of Mag 7? Who knows, right? Close range, this could be massive.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his shoulders. I mean, usually you're just going to find that one, but if you can find 2, it's going to be absolutely huge. I'm going to turn off that X-ray just so we can see what he's seeing. The flash comes through, can't find what? Yes, he can. He finds him right in the nuts, to be honest, but does go down. Stanley gets him, and Fry comes in with one of his own. It's just 3 players left for Endpoint. Can they do anything to ward these players off the site? The bomb's going to go down from Pulse. Imi gets caught out by Stanley. And this is going to be a tough retake. It's doable. Well, it was doable until SEO went down. So, Mighty Max in a 1 versus 4. I don't think he's going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Does get the opening onto Neilzinho, but probably just a consolation frag.
Low HP on 2 of these players. No kit. 20 HP. No utility as well. Gonna have to find some crisp headshots here. Stanley's low. 1 bullet will take him down. If you can find the headshot onto Fry 1 towards stairs, this is actually winnable.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, maybe I called it too soon, but is Fry going to pop out? Yes, he will. Finds him with the AK. And FM are back on form now.
Yep, money. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Ugly
2K?
looking for Endpoint, yeah.
So, they go for the force into that round after being reset. Okay, so you bought into this one, and now you're in the position where you need to save again. 8-3 is going to be the scoreline, and then following that, you're going to be looking at... I mean, if FM win the next buy round again, this could end 12-3. I mean, not 12-3, 11-4 again, like we saw on Cash, maybe. Still. Actually, they're pushing through mid. They've made an adjustment here from FM. They know that Ezio and Imi like to play towards A long, and they're exploiting it. And they're exposing the weakness here on the CT defense. They've done it towards B, and now they're doing it towards A.
Can they catch any of these players that are lurking around A long? I like that FM are biding their time, just in case anything crazy comes out from these Endpoint players. We've seen these rounds thrown away by Endpoint. We're going to see FM throw a round away like this. To be honest, with the form that FM have been in, I don't expect that to happen. There's a lot resting on Fry here. Is he going to notice? There's a player to his right. They're going to know he's there as well once this Molotov comes through. So Pete, big opportunity. Can he find anything? Does try and get the tap. He saw the knee of Frey, but it's not going to be enough as Frey, just hearing that USP now, he's going to back off. He'll be worried. He'll be saying to his teammates, okay, perhaps we should move towards B. There might even be a stack towards A here. Just... It's a questionable position. He bursts in, and Imi's going to get the frag.
Oh my God, no, it's not.
It was fine until Mighty Max finds one with a deagle. If he can find a second, this could be huge. He can't quite. He goes down, so the bomb should now be able to be planted. It is a 3 versus 4, but they do have the weapons. A lot on Pete with this AK. Can he get to the site quick enough?
No more smokes as well. Only 2 flashes, an HG, and a molly. So these CT players can push in. The problem is you've got no armor. Stanley holding an aggressive angle here as well will catch Ezio off guard. Pete tries to get one with the AK. The problem is that Luzza will fall as well. Pete on 3 HP. Try and save that AK. You're not going to take money at the hands of FM. They've won so many rounds in a row now. Their money is stacked.
Can Pete find anything? No, he can't. Stanley comes in, gets both of them.
Yep.
And it's one of those rounds that Endpoint weren't going to win, to be honest.
Then again, you know, you found, what, 2-3 kills? Could have been worse. The thing is, right, Fry 1 goes towards A. He's sort of that player who's playing for information. He's gone, oh my God, 4 plays A long, go B. Oh, sorry, 3 plays A long, go B. They know that Ezio is going to be towards drop. And they also know that there's going to be 1 play B. Max with the deagle, catch that player off guard. 1 digs him, 1 bangs him, he falls. The problem is, yeah, nice shot, nice kills. It's a 5 versus 3, but you have no armor and no firepower, no utility.
Yeah, could have been different if he had found a second.
Yep.
But it's one of those things, when you are hitting those shots, it can be absolutely fantastic for your team, but sometimes it just doesn't do anything. As Weber is just going to burst onto the site, finds one, looks for a second, but can't get it onto Mighty Max. Mighty Max does trade. Very efficient trading. They definitely needed that Endpoint. And now it's back to a 4v4. Essie will also take down Stanley, who was lurking around middle. And now we see aggression coming out from FM. Pulse yet again is back at it. He gets 2. Imi and Essio go down to the Pulse AK. Can he find a third? No, he can't. Mighty Max is going to stop him, and it leaves just Neilzinho on the site. He does have the bomb. Is he going to plant it? No, he's going to get aggressive. What a bold move this is going to be from Nilzinho. Finds one. Can he find the second?
No,
yes, he can onto Luzza. Disgusting stuff from Nilzinho. He had no right to win that round, but a very bold play
That's
from
a
him.
tilter. That might just be mentally tapping out. End this now, please. Get me out of here. I'm Endpoint. Get me out of here.
I was thinking that as well. It's a new TV show.
Yeah. Gosh. I mean, they go for the force bite. Weber goes for the Nico play. Well, I say the Nico play. Trying to sell sort of a fake. He had 4 players towards a long. The player flashes himself through, tries to make a hero play, tries to go 1-for-1, and cause a rotation off of A and cause a distraction, right? And that's exactly what happened. He got the kill, and that meant it was Imi and Ezio alone on A, and they were, let's just say, if Max was there earlier, it could have been a different round.
Yeah, and a lot on Pulse as well, just getting those opening frags. He's just been playing out of his skin today, and you can see they were going for that boost in drop there, but eventually with enough noise they backed off as Imi's getting very overzealous. Does have the back 7, does find Frey, but Stanley was there to trade. Mighty Max gets one of his own onto Weber. We were down to a 4v3, so a lot to do for Stanley, Nilzinho and Pulse.
Stanley now. The thing is, do they anticipate him? No, they don't catch us. One. I say that about PT. Will be traded 2 versus 3. Low HP there on Pulse. And Ezio towards Wood. There's no way in hell they expect him to be here. Good read here. The thing is, though, Luzza, look how far he is pushed up. Playing an off angle as well. He's going to take 1 bullet to kill Pulse. And an easy spray down onto Nilzinho is what you would hope.
But Nilzinho's going to be the first one to push in. He gets the easy spray down. Pulse will be next. And as you said, he is so weak. So a good angle from Luzza. Nilzinho, unfortunately, just caught with his pants down. I don't think that Molotov is going to quite reach him. He's just dancing around.
He saw them where he came from, though.
Yeah, he definitely did. So good stuff from Luzza. And that is better from Endpoint. And I think we've got a replay actually from that previous round where Nilzinho pushed in. And
Falling, lands that kill, the play was low, right? The reason they played close together was Max was low, Luzza had all the HP and an M4, and then Max is basically called, trade me. I'm low, trade me. He will kill me, and while he's spraying me, you kill him. There was no you kill him, though.
There wasn't, no.
Because, I don't want to say Luzza whiff, because he was falling in midair. It's quite a hard shot to hit, fair enough, but Nilzinho definitely should have won that round.
Well, the 4th round for Endpoint, you said, a possible 11-4. Can they get a 5th on the board? Stanley just holding close to the smoke here. He is going to burst through yet again, but the flash is coming through, so no one from Endpoint getting any trades. Pete finds 2 before he goes down. Luzza can't find any for his own, though, as Nilzinho now comes in. It's just Nilzinho and Frey left. They are going to get the bomb down. Ezio, Imi, Mighty Max for the retake. They really need this round, to be honest. I think they need 5, maybe 6 rounds if they're going to be comfortable going into their T side. The flash comes through from Frey, can't find it. Imi gets the frag, and this should be easy enough, but we've seen Nilzinho do disgusting things already. Can he find it? He finds Mighty Max. Can he find a 3rd onto Ezio? This is such a big 1v1 for Ezio, and he is going to find it as well. Nilzinho, the man of the moment at the
360 there, just to show off. Oh my goodness.
The man of the moment at the moment. What a call. Nilzinho, 4K. Disgusting.
I mean, you're going 1 by 1, right? And in that 1 versus 2, Max peeks out, tries to kill him, loses the spray duel, the molly comes down, Ezio can't jump and kill him. The problem is he's underneath balcony, he can't just hop on and kill him. And when he goes to face, he doesn't expect it to be in the off angle that it was. Very smart play there. And that might be a tilt 90 there.
Yeah, P90 coming through. Stanley finds Imi as well, trying to get aggressive. Now they can continue forward onto a long, and they are just going to put this half to bed, it would seem, as Ezio also gets wiped away. Can Luzza find anything with the Deagle is the real question. Yes, he can! Finds Frey. Can he find Nilzinho as well? Can he somehow bring life back into this half for Endpoint, or is he just going to fall like the rest of his comrades have as well? P90's not going to do anything for Mighty Max, and Luzza's going to fall 11-4. You called it
cash.
Almost perfectly.
What can I say, mate? What can I say? Don't pay me for nothing. 11-4.
You're getting paid for this?
Wait, you're not? 11-4. Same as on cash. We'll be seeing more than 6 rounds on the side of Endpoint. I hope so. Replay here of the pistol. The problem was this is the only real round we saw. I don't want to say something from Endpoint because a lot of the times they're losing to themselves, okay? They would have situations where they're 2 men up, 1 man lead, and they'll just die 1 by 1 by 1. I mean, the final round, or the second to last round, sorry, was actually the first round where I saw a good setup on B. You had PT playing counter flash. You had Max playing towards outside. You had PT playing counter flash, Max playing towards Speedway, and Luzza on the side. That's the first time I saw an actual setup on the B bomb site. It worked. PT got 2 kills, but they still lost the round.
And now
Yeah,
with
as
this
you do.
confidence, yeah, I mean, with confidence now from FM going into CT side, this should be a relatively easy one, right? I mean,
Depends on
what
pistol.
Endpoint got left
It always
in their
depends on
tank?
pistol because, yes, if FM win the pistol, I mean, they've lost every pistol in this best of 2,
But
right?
does it matter with the pistol when Endpoint are throwing away rounds after they win the pistol anyway? That's
It's just
the thing.
they're not playing the right setups. They don't necessarily play it wrong. They're just playing the wrong setups. You shouldn't be playing where Ezio was, right? He's playing close. That's an angle where you see players do when they have or CZs, and they're the ones on eco because it's such a close range duel. But enough of that. We'll be going to the pistol. Weber now with an HE grenade and 2 USPs.
I'm
2
scared about those
flashes.
dual Berettas, to be honest, and actually they're going to do nothing as Stanley finds Imi. Pete gets a trade onto Freight, but that was a crazy dual Beretta buy as Endpoint have found their way into middle. Can SU take down Pulse here, as Pulse taking a very aggressive angle with the USP. Might want to distance himself a little bit from these Glocks, as obviously the USP is a lot better from a range, and he knows full well Mighty Max is there though. That's why he's taking this angle, but is he going to be double picked? Finds the first one, can he find the second? This is nice and easy pickings, but we do see it back to a 3-on-3 now. SEO has always been that key member for Endpoint that does help them win those pistol rounds. I remember when he aced a pistol round in
the
week
Glock. Yeah,
1.
he's so good with the pistols.
It's crazy the stuff he does. But now it all slows down on the battlefield here.
Yep, 3 versus 3. Typically, though, you do favour the Ts in this situation. The problem is that look how far up Weber is pushed, and Stanley as well, but Ezio finds the opening. This means Weber might move, and if he does... Oh no, they're not going towards B. It looks like these 2 T players here towards drop will split towards A. And there's no one there, so fair play. There should be their pistol going in favour of Endpoint. If not, then I couldn't tell you anything about this game. I shouldn't even be here.
It should be, but as much of this game has been, it's been a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda. With the bomb being planted, Weber and Neilzinho will move swiftly towards their A site. Whether they're going to be able to retake it is going to be another matter. Pete's found himself a USP, so he's going to have a big impact in this retake as well, because he's got the range, and he should just be able to tap away when these players do try and push onto the site. Weber is checking every single angle. Esu can just back off, and that's what Endpoint are doing now. They're just baiting, switching, they're just biding their time, and eventually picking up the frags.
Easy.
They win another pistol, but this next round is the one that they really need to win. Come on, Endpoint. You can do it. I'm behind you.
Are you?
I am. I want to see Endpoint make a game of this.
No, of
I want
course,
to see them go
of
back
course.
into it. And
I'm all here for competitive play. I want the best game possible for Counter-Strike, right?
I just don't want to see Endpoint throw away another round.
It's not just that, but it's more fun to watch and cast if the game's close. What we saw in Cash was it was so one-sided that it did get a bit stale. Anyway, 11-5. They hear the steps through mid, and they're doing the Fnatic anti-eco.
Yeah, you can see them all just huddling up in middle now. Pitchy grenade comes out from Pete just in case anyone is lurking around in that smoke. They've got plenty of utility to work with, but Stanley gets the opening frag onto SEO, and then comes Pulse and Neilzinho. It's all happening again for Endpoint. It's all falling to tatters, and tatters it is, just leaving Pete all on his own in a 1 versus 3. And is this the hopes and dreams of the ESL Premiership all running away now for Endpoint? They've done it again, just when they should be winning a round. They've been defeated by
Needs to be faster.
a force buy of FM, and
So, Fnatic do that exact same anti-eco, right? What you do is you smoke off Matrix, you have one player hold for the long push, one player hold the Matrix smoke, one player molly close left, and then once the molly fades, you jump through and you trade the player of the SMG jumps through in case it's playing close. Problem was, they did everything perfect, but they took too long. They're not pushing fast enough, they're not pushing together, and that meant FM already had 4 players on the A-bomb site, close to the smokes, and they lose another bar like that, and Weber's just having a field day as he gets another ding there.
yeah, I thought he would be able to find more. Thankfully, Neilzinho was there to back him up, though, and we'll find another as well. Easy pickings. There's going to be nothing silly happening just yet. The trades coming out from FM have been absolutely incredible. They always have that second supporting player to come through, make sure they pick up that kill, not allowing those terrorists to gain too much of an advantage.
Yeah.
And is this good night? Is this curtains now for Endpoint, do you think?
I mean, who knows, right? This is the... Oh, wow, they bought into the last round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought this was the bar.
No, yeah, that was my worry.
Yeah, okay, that changes everything. I was about to say, well, if they win this 16-30, if they win the next one, they could reset the money. But the problem is, we're looking at, what, 14-5. It's looking very, very dire right now for Endpoint. And they've gone for the quasi-buy, armor, and some nades on Imi. This could be like a Gambit play where they do the Olaf smoke, they do the pop flashes over. The problem is, you've got Stanley here in new covey.
Stanley should just be able to find everyone. Imi expected it, but he's not able to do anything about it. And the spray down just comes through. There's going to be one left. Of course, that round was going to go that way. And now Endpoint they have to buy up. They have to do something. They really have to... Something miraculous has to happen, to be honest. I don't even have any hope for Endpoint anymore. This is going to be a win for FM.
Who knows, right? At this point, Endpoint. The point is, if you reset the money on the CT side, there's a chance, right? Because then you get your free rounds when they're on ecos, and then again, they might lose those still. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. We can still be hopeful for Endpoint. I'd like to think they're still hopeful as well.
Gotta be.
Still practice at the end of the day, but a lot to work on, I think, is what Endpoint have learnt so far. If they are going to be one of these big dogs, one of the big UK teams, they definitely need to look over these games and change a lot, to be honest, as FM are going to try and put this one to bed so that they can head to bed. 14-5.
Yeah, we can talk a bit about, you know, what they could have changed after the game's over.
I mean, tell me now. There's a little bit of a lull. What could they have changed?
I mean, the A defense was good, okay? I'm happy with how they played A. I'm happy with how Max rotated. The way they held B, you saw so many rounds where they would take B, they'd get reset, and at that point, you know, how are you supposed to hold A with CZs and UMPs? It gets very difficult.
Speaking of difficult, can they get onto the site? And the Molotovs are going to come through, and the spray down from Pulse as well. It is 3v2. Nilzinho now in a 1 versus 2. He does have an M4. He has moved his way into drop here. If he can find the opening frag, oh, that would have been huge if he had hit a headshot, but he couldn't quite find Mighty Max. He's only on 7 HP now, so perhaps this is a chance for Endpoint to get back into it. But how can Nilzinho find that frag? What were you looking at?
He thought he was going connector.
And I guess you have to take that guess. You have to take that risk. But Nilzinho is very weak, so Mighty Max should find this frag. If Nilzinho does it yet again, then he really will be my MVP. He does see him, but oh my god, that could have been so close. Mighty Max manages to clutch it out. It is going to be a 6th round on the board for Endpoint. Perhaps there is still light at the end of the tunnel just yet. It is a long shot, but I don't know. I have no idea anymore. Endpoint, they've thrown away rounds that they should have won. They've won rounds that they shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
But they are so far behind that I fear this is game over.
So the reason Imi wasn't looking was because he tagged up Nilzinho. He thought Nilzinho was going to try save or go towards connector. Problem was Imi didn't hold fort long enough, right? The time it takes for Nilzinho to walk or run towards drop is, you know, what, 3 seconds? And he instantly shifted his attention. That's the problem, right? You've got to just give it a little bit of time. Anyway, Pulse close here with the Max 7. We could be seeing FM going for a lot of buys here as they are so far ahead. Boost towards tree. Let's see if Endpoint expect this. It could be a flash burst.
Yeah, are they just going to burst into the Max 7? No flash coming through. Pulse gets the opening as well. Stanley does find the second, so we're in a 3v3. Frey is still holding drop as well in case anyone is going to be pushing through. It's not going to be greeted by anyone, and something's gone wrong. Someone has disconnected, yes, so...
Imi's just gone.
I guess this round is going to carry through, and the bomb's going to go down now from SEO. And it's a 2 versus 2 situation. They are still, of course, going to have to play this one out.
Yep.
There is utility still to work with, but can they get the defuse is the real question, as Lazar just hovering around here. Can't find anything, but SEO is doing the damage himself. And Frey with it all to do just here on Rock. He's got an M4, but this is going to be extremely tough.
It is indeed. Has no nades, but has a kit, so he can wait a little bit longer. The bomb is fired. So far ticked! If he had landed that headshot, could have been a spray transfer potentially. We could be seeing a long wait here as Imi is... RIP out the server.
That's 2 players, actually. It's a player from FM as well.
So they both... Oh, could have been like an anti-cheat bug? A wire? Something like that.
Who
knows?
No
something
idea.
Happened. Anyway.
Anyway, indeed. But yeah, you were talking briefly in a previous round where you said we could talk about what's gone wrong for Endpoint and what they possibly could have changed, and obviously you were shut down a little bit because the push came through. So
yeah, it happens a lot to me.
Elaborate on that a little bit. What can Endpoint be doing differently?
So
or what could they have been doing differently?
What we saw that was good on the CT side of Endpoint, right? Pistol rounds, we already know they're going to be good on their pistols. The way Imi and Ezio held towards A was very good. They played together. They held one portion of the map. And what I was explaining earlier before was, in the meta right now, for Cobblestone, you play 2A. And those 2 players there, they play together. They either hold long exclusively, or they hold mid exclusively. The reason being is if you split up, it's a lot harder because there's so many different angles. Counter nades, you can't play with your teammate, you can't get trade frags. So what you do is you play one angle, you play one half of the A-bomb site, and then you slow down or you deal with the other half as it comes. So if you're playing long, you'll flash over mid, molly ramp, smoke towards long, play site. If you're playing mid, you will smoke off long, flash it, or you'll molly long, sorry, first, then you flash it, then you smoke it, and you double up mid, and you get the kills there. And the reason being is when you're long, on the T side, you can't spot the players playing towards mid. You saw that angle that Imi was holding a lot towards the barrier, what's the word I'm looking for? the ridge of the stone, if you know what I mean, like that little off angle where he's like looking towards mid.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
You can't actually be seen from long when you're there. You might think so, but you actually can't. So that's what you do. Basically, you double up and you play together on one half of the portion of the map, and they're playing that well. You saw when they were losing A, a lot of the times they lost A when they had low buys, low utility, and it's not really their fault. Towards B, so many entries, lack of trade kills, bad setups as well. What was good was when Lazza had the AWP towards B and actually you saw Max rotate A, but the problem is when Lazza didn't have the AWP and he was playing like a Mag 7 and M4, Max had to play B, and even then it was just so difficult for them to juggle that round.
Yeah, a lot of work still to be done from Endpoint, to be honest, if they want to push through and really be those top UK team, to be honest.
Endpoint are a top UK team,
well,
100%.
Yeah, but they're not the top UK team, and I think that's a problem, because with the players on this squad, they could be the top UK team. I just think they require a little bit more, and bold play now coming out from Stanley is going to boost himself up.
Don't lose versus pistols.
Is that going to be expected as Mighty Max gets taken down? And it's a 5 versus 3 now. Can he find a weapon? Can they find a weapon from either of those frags? If they can, this is going to be so difficult for Endpoint. They need to move. They need to move quickly, otherwise they are just going to be pincered, as SEO is going to be the first man to enter on the site. All members of FM are flashing. They had to back off, and now the deagle shot could be deadly. Lazza gets one. Can Nilzinho find anything as well, as SEO is now coming on? And they've got Molotovs. They have utility to work with. Nilzinho in a great position. He's only got a USB. He's tapping away. Can't find SEO. Has to back off. He's going to get sprayed down through this chicken coop, and they should be able to take this back to a 3 versus 3 now. And suddenly it's looking a little bit more comfortable for Endpoint. It was looking very out of possibility, and we're down to a 2 versus 2.
Low HP.
Are they going to do it again? Frey has a massive chance. Can he find Pete, who's just dancing around Statue? He's flashed off as well. He really needs support from Weber. So much on Weber. We've seen Weber do crazy things throughout the Premiership. Can he do more of the same? The trade comes through. It's going to be Frey versus SEO now. And the bomb hasn't gone down either. So much. SEO has always been in this situation, and yes, so close there. This is crazy.
It's the AK as well. The bomb, look at the angle as well. Playing towards drop, Ezio knows exactly where Fry should be. Could be right side as well. Yep, checks right side of Speedway. Has the bomb. Goes to the plant. Actually sticks it. Wow. That's pretty... He's got a nerve there to stick that. Then again, they're in such a rut, he has to take risks. So, Fry 1 rotating towards Connector. Actually running away. Maybe he anticipates Ezio to be on the other side, trying to make a sound cue to bait him into this.
Even my heart is beating right now, as I'm sure both of these players are as well. Frey slowly running out of time, and that's why he is checking every angle. But speaking of every angle, he didn't check that one. And Endpoint just about come away with that round. It almost looked like they were going to throw it away.
And that was a pistol, no armor.
Yeah, that's
only armor was on Stanley.
That's the trouble, and that's where Endpoint's biggest weakness is, to be honest. And okay, they still have money to work with, but let's say if their money wasn't great going into that round, then that could have been absolutely detrimental. But okay, now they can buy up, they can go again. Maybe they can get back into this game. 5
rifles, no AWP on the T side here, but an AWP on Weber. Let's see if that can be a good contrast here. Could be a set play towards B, maybe a B split. Without the AWP, a B split could be very, very strong here. Lazza getting boosted up here. You can see the top of the smoke if the CT player jumps on the box. Weber spots, I believe that's Imi. Usually Imi is the one lurking. Yes, it is.
Did he spot him, though?
Yes, he did. He saw his feet. That's why he's readjusted now.
Okay. I didn't even spot him. Like, I saw the X-ray, but I didn't see the foot.
That's why you hold the angle. I can explain the setup later.
You know, in private time, or like just
right now. The reason the AWP is towards connector is because he's scoped in. He can see the gap between the doors, so he knows if players are in mid, and he's also fast rotated towards B, and he can leave that player hold long. He knows there's no one mid. His teammate can watch long alone. And that way you cover everything, and you're fast rotate towards B. There you go.
Great. Oh, I can remember that when playing matchmaking.
Feel the AWPer?
I'm not. No, I can't hit all shots.
I'm an AWPer myself, that's why I know these things.
I mean, perhaps we should put you on an Endpoint squad. That would improve it, but Frey finds the opening onto Pete now, and perhaps this is going to be the nail in the coffin. Yeah, he almost nearly dies. Almost gets the 1G. As Stanley just surviving here on Statue, as Endpoint edge their way onto site. Lazza gets one, can't find a second though. Eventually he does, and it is a 3 versus 3. Endpoint are doing well to get onto the A site, to be honest. They get the bomb down, but
yeah, flashes,
you're completely right. It is all about this utility.
How are you supposed to hold off the CTs right now in this retake? Max though towards drop. This is a great position. We'll find Fry 1. And actually, they don't have the nade advantage, but they have the positional advantage towards drop. I say that, Max is down.
No flashes either for FM though.
Or a
Can
kit.
Weber manage to find an angle with this AWP? Or is this just going to be a 9th round for Endpoint? They are slowly running out of time. Weber goes down. It's just on Neilzinho. He finds one. Can he clutch up yet again? He's slowly running out of time, as you said. No kit to work with. Imi gets it. 9th round now. Endpoint, they have found a little bit of form. And they are going to be forcing FM into an eco here.
Yep, let's see if they don't let this one slip. The money on FM means they can go for a quasi-buy. We're going to be seeing Armour on a few players here. Standing with the Armour and CZ once again. He found a kill in the previous, when they were on previous on eco. But still, Endpoint, they need a clean round here. They can't let things slip. They want an AWP into the next buy round, I imagine, onto Luzza. And if so, they can't let rifles drop here. They can't let their economy fall. Because if it does, if they haven't got the economy to support an AWP, that could be detrimental to their T side.
Imi gets the opener onto Weber, so that's better from Endpoint. They're not throwing away against pistols at the moment. Look at this positioning from Frey and Pulse, though. Holding close, but Frey pops his head out, and his head is ripped straight off by SEO, as Stanley will take his place instead. They're not getting aggressive, Endpoint. They're not taking any risks. You can see in their gameplay they're a little bit worried. They know that they've suffered against ecos previously. As I speak of that, Pulse gets one, but Pete comes in, finds Neilzinho, and it's not going to work out fantastically for FM. They managed to take down Luzza, but the important thing is Endpoint haven't thrown around the way.
Yep, so the previous anti-kill they were doing before was they went towards A and they went in mid. They smoked Matrix. The problem was they were doing it a bit too slow. That meant FM were all stacked towards A. This time, they're playing very, very passive, holding all of the pushes on the map. Weber pushes towards mid, Imi gets that kill, and obviously the pushes towards B, those players find those. We are in the first buy round here. Oh, it's 10-14. Let's just say there's a buy round, right? AWP on the side of Weber, no AWP again on the side of Endpoint. Mighty Max sticking onto the UMP. Weber whiffing that flick, 4 HP, Luzza tagging him down, but doesn't quite cement that frag.
Crazy that Weber's able to survive as well. If he had died there, that would have been an opening for Endpoint. Instead, he can escape with his life and he can hold an angle once again with the AWP, so I can't stress enough how important just surviving there is. Where are Endpoint going to go with this? They know now FM have money yet again. They've had success getting onto that B site, so how are they going to continue their attempt to get on the A site, as now they come into drop. Frey does get shut down by Mighty Max as well, so a nice early frag. Stanley comes in. Can he get a spray down on both? No, just one. Mighty Max goes down. 4 on 4. I thought they were going to line up for him there, and now Pulse, he's just watching this angle. He knows that there could be players pushing down B long. They push that way. He whiffs a little bit. Can't quite find Luzza, as SEO now is trying to take this battle here.
4v4, 50 seconds on the clock, and already Neilzinho's pushed up A. They have all the information. They know exactly where all the T's are. They are funneled into this Dragon Law position outside drop. Neilzinho has so many angles he can hold, so many positions here to try and get a multi-frag. He needs to find at least one and try and get two, but Luzza towards this mid-platform area, I'd say, might be caught off guard, and he is tagged up. He tagged up Weber the first portion of this half, of this round, and now he's tagged up himself. But what is that Ezio jumping around with his knife out?
SEO doing crazy things here as Stanley gets one onto Pete. And SEO is going to continue moving forward, but he's just going to walk into the AWP of Weber, slowly slipping away for Endpoint now. So much to do for these two remaining players. Luzza goes down, so does Imi.
Match point.
And yep, as you
even
say,
then, 7 seconds on the round. That's the problem, right? You go so heavy towards B, FM have all the information. Neilzinho has the confidence, that's important, has the confidence to push A. So Weber, basically, this is what's happened, right? Luzza has spotted Weber, Weber spotted Luzza. Luzza has then left because he's like, oh, they know where I am, blah, 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 I'm going to rotate and I'm going to move and play with my team. Neilzinho knows what's going on. He understands, he's made the right read. We saw such great reads from him, Cash, in terms of his calling. And right there, individually, he made the right call, pushed A, and put them, funneled them, basically, outside drop, in the Dragon Law area. You know, in T spawn. There's just no map control for the T side. Is that... That is Imi in mid. That's what I mean. If you hadn't AWP, could have held the door, you would have known he was there.
Instead, Mighty Max is going to be the first to go down. Endpoint need to play flawlessly if they're going to take this one to overtime, but currently it's not going very well, as Weber also shuts down Imi. SEO is going to get aggressive onto this site. Can he find Pulse? No, from behind he's going to be bullets into the bottom. Luzza comes through with the deagle, but he goes down as well, leaving it all on Pete in a 1 versus 4. We saw him do things in the pistol round, but it's not going to be enough today. FM, they will join Fish 123 at the top of the league table on 14 points.